Hi there, this is Jennifer Farley from Photoshop Bootcamp. Obviously not everything we want to select will be a circle or a square, so we can use the 3 lasso tools to make slightly more complex selections. And we'll start off by taking a look at the lasso tool. So let's open up a file to work on. I'm going to use the file called number 2 Lasso Tools. Okay, and let's zoom in just a little bit. Okay, so let's start with the Lasso tool. The Lasso tool is a freehand tool and it's great for making fast, loose selections. Or if you have a very steady hand, which I don't, you can make more intricate selections. You can drag the Lasso tool around an area to trace a freehand selection, and it's just like drawing with a pencil. We select the lasso either through the toolbar or by pressing L on the keyboard. Then you simply click and drag around the area that you want to select. This is a very loose selection I'm making here. And then we come back to the start, let go of the cursor or the mouse, and you can see that the selection has been made because we can see the dancing ants around that area. I'm going to open up my layers panel because I want to show you how you can take a selection made with any selection tool and add that selection to a new layer. So the selection that I've just made, to add it to its own new layer, I'm going to press Ctrl and J on the PC or Command and J on the Mac. And what happens is the selection is put on a brand new layer. So if I turn off the background layer, we can see the selection that has been made. So this is a great way if we wanted to do some work just on this part of it. We've got it fully isolated and we can work on it to our heart's content. The next tool is the polygonal lasso tool. And this tool only draws straight line segments around the area that we're selecting. It's very easy to use. We choose it by either picking it from the toolbar or hitting Shift L to cycle through the lasso tools until we come to the polygonal lasso. So I'm going to make a simple selection here. It works only in straight lines, and we click each time we want to sort of end a line segment. And I'll just very, very quickly go around this. This is not a particularly good selection that I'm making, but for speed purposes, I'll just go around quickly. So each time I click, a little anchor point is dropped until we come back round to the start and meet our starting point. And once I click there, that's our selection made. I showed you how you could create a new layer with your selection. We can also move our selection by taking the move tool. You can see the cursor has changed there to a scissors. If I move that now, what happens is the whole selection and the pixels are all moved. So I can move that to my heart's content around the image. I can put it wherever I want it. Another nice little thing that we can do here is if I hold down the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac, if I click and drag, we can make a duplicate, and I can click and drag and make another duplicate. So you'll notice that every time I make a duplicate, the last one that I've made is still selected. So it means that I can make lots and lots of new duplicate selections. And then when I'm ready, I just press Ctrl D to deselect. Okay, so that's a pretty angry looking set of faces there. I'm actually going to just set this back to where we started from, and to do that I'll choose File and Revert or hit F12, and that takes us back to the last point where our file was saved, or if you haven't saved your file already, it will revert it back to the beginning. The final lasso tool that we look at is the magnetic lasso tool, and this is somewhat like a combination of the other 2 lasso tools. It works best where there is a good contrast between the area you want to select and its background. So let's go and take the magnetic lasso tool. I'll start my magnetic lasso about here. So I'm going to click once, and then I'm just dragging along the edge And you can see that every so often a little anchor point is dropped. So I'll just keep going around. I'm not clicking anywhere, I'm just simply dragging. And the magnetic lasso tool attempts to look at the difference between the background and what I'm trying to select. And it works quite well. So we'll just go to there, and when I get back to where I started, I just click OK. And you can see that it's made a reasonably good selection. There's a few little bits that I've missed there, and there's a bit there where it's gone outside where I wanted to do. In the next video, we're going to take a look at the Quick Selection tool and the Magic Wand tools.